What is happening, everybody? Satoshi Nakamoto, please do not kill me. Max Kaiser, please do not kill me. There are two people I can think of that are pretty relevant to Bitcoin. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone want to buy Bitcoin? Why would they use their Bitcoin? And why would they want to buy Pulsechain with their Bitcoin? That's what I meant to say. So, if you go over to pulsechain.com, right, and check it out, you may or may not be interested at all, but it's a new L1 and you would have got every single ERC20, including wrapped Bitcoin, copied over onto whatever device wallet that you control. So if it was on a centralized exchange, then most likely they have it and you don't. So that kind of sucks. That's what happens when you give up your keys to other people. That's literally what happens when you give away your crypto. Now, people in excuse me, voice not funny. People in the crypto space are beginning to understand this. Now, Richard Hart was the leader, the thought leader in this space, and he has paved the way for the shiny hill on the city. That is Hexco, that is Pulsechain, that is PulseX. Now, what am I talking about? So if you go over to pulsechain.com, if you know how to do this, then you are probably ahead of most in regards to the cryptocurrency space. You can add Pulsechain to your MetaMask network. You can run your own validator. Now, there's all details about that, etc. But there's also a site, a link from the official website called pulsechain.com, called pulseburn.com. Now, if you go over to pulseburn.com, you may, I don't know why, you might want to go and take your Bitcoin, since you've held since inception, all the way up to however many millions of X's, and just maybe you might see a similar sort of thing play out. Now, history does not repeat, it does rhyme. But have a look. Just imagine if you were to get 0.01 worth of Bitcoin and you're getting what? 1.8 million worth of Pulse? Now, just let's compare the two just ever so briefly. Which one is more likely to do a 10x in the next 12 months? Statistically, what something that's already done the millions of X's, or something that has just come out? Now, all of this is in an unofficial manner. You can tell by my excitement. I'm pretty keen to spread this particular message because, like I said, what do you think is going to do a better amount of X's in terms of financial X's? And how do you think we actually get freedom on this planet, in the prison planet that we currently live in? How do you think the best way to achieve financial freedom going forward is? We just buy Bitcoin and hope that goes up? I mean, maybe you buy Bitcoin, maybe you buy some Monero, then maybe you buy the Pulsechain. I don't know. Completely up to you. But I'm just going to point this out. Then it's like, well, hang on. What are you going to do once you're over on Pulsechain? What does Pulsechain actually do? Well, it's a new L1. It's cheaper and quicker than Ethereum, which is a fork of. And the entire system state came over. Maybe you want to play around the farms. I don't know. Maybe a bit of a degen. Maybe you like your 34.5% API that was once over 1,000, and these were all once over 1,000. But as you know, as you are familiar with LP providing, over time the value diminishes. At some point, you might see all of these no more than 30%. At which point, you might seek to research further something like Hex. I don't know. Roughly 38 APY. We've seen triple-digit APY, but not everyone was as trusting in the beginning, was as willing to research cryptocurrency in an in-depth manner. And of course, just like the early adopters with Bitcoin, that played out pretty well for them. The early adopters with Hex, that played out pretty well for them. However, we've seen some downturns. We've seen some downturns with Bitcoin, we've seen some downturns with Hex. Pulsechain has just come out, and PLS is the native DEX that you can play around with. Now, there's some other stuff being built. I'm not really going to cover that much, but if you have a look at V1, you can get what's called INC token. You can also switch over to V2 and mimic the V2 version of Uniswap, lol, and basically collect fees. Now, there's no farms over here providing INC token. However, that may or may not be coming. I have no idea. I have no expectations. I had no idea any of this was ever even going to launch because I sacrificed for the freedom of speech, freedom of movement, and it has surprised me so far. in a good way. Now, that is about it for this one. And if you are interested, like I said, in selling your Bitcoin for something, maybe you got some extra Bitcoins lying around, I don't know. Maybe you hate Hex and you hate Pulse Chain, you want to dump it all on our heads. Go ahead, buy it all up and dump it all on our heads. See what happens. Just see what happens. All right, this is Free Speech signing out. And the way to achieve financial freedom is Pulse Chain. It is an extension of the current cryptocurrency markets. It is extending out the life of Bitcoin. What's going to happen when all the Bitcoin in the world have been mined? What's going to happen then? Huh? You're telling me the price is going up infinitely when no more Bitcoin is being mined? What's going to happen with Ethereum when it's like moonshotting and you can't even transact on it? Maybe you just want to play over here in Pulse Chain. I don't know. All right, so peace out. And if you, like I said, have any Bitcoin and you have no idea what to do with it, you're just sitting on it and you want some yield, farm, burn, hodl, do something, do anything. Because economic times are getting rough. And if you don't believe me, then you haven't been following the markets. Free Speech signing out.